Welcome back to Talk Football Live once again, and I'm here with Lobsy and Charles. It is game week 2 of the English Premiership, and
Mhm.
we're going to be looking at the big games this weekend. There are two main games we'll be focusing on. There is Man City going up against rejuvenated. Well, I don't know if I should call them rejuvenated, but another top side in Tottenham,
Yep.
and last year's title winners, Liverpool, are away at Newcastle. Those are our two big games. Before we go ahead, if you haven't yet, please click that like, share, subscribe button. We love to see your participation. Follow up. Leave a comment, down below. Let us know you're here with us. Engage.
Mhm.
Let's have a conversation about the games coming up this weekend. How are you guys feeling? You guys ready?
Always excited.
All
Always ready.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So first game of the weekend is West Ham Chelsea. We'll come back and take predictions like we always do, but we're going to focus on that game, City versus Tottenham. Charles, tell me what we're thinking, with City this season. They won their first game. Both teams won their games this season in game week 1. What are you feeling about this game with City going in?
Yeah. City. I feel like this game is going to be very interesting. Very interesting game. One word you use to describe Tottenham is rejuvenated. The other another word I'll use to describe City is unpredictable. In
Mm.
fact, can you show me the table real quick? I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at
because you
it.
mentioned City and Tottenham both won their game week 1 games.
Mm-hmm.
I would say they both won their game week 1 games convincingly. Yeah. So
Agreed.
yeah. So it's very interesting. I would talk about the game without even trying to predict who the winner will be because, like I said, City is pretty unpredictable right now, and Tottenham seems to be rejuvenated. They've gotten some reasonable signings. They have a new coach,
Yep.
who
Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank, who I think is still up and coming, but he has the pedigree of Premier League under his belt, so we can expect something good from him, hopefully. City on the other hand still have Almighty Pep in charge. No Rodri, but they have a plethora of signings that I don't even know who plays where anymore for City, except for Alan playing up front. I'm not sure who's going to play in midfield. I don't know who's going to play the wings. Grealish is gone now. Doku is still there. Savino is still there. Although Savino is rumored to be leaving for Spurs. That's still a rumor. But the point is, City is so unpredictable. We don't know what to expect. Now, if we're going to go off the first game they played, very impressive. But it was Wolves, though. But all the very impressive. They got the result, clean sheet, all that good stuff. Um, I think we should be expecting something similar from City. They will pump in goals. They will try to. Spurs on the other hand, we saw them against PSG. There's something in there, even though they lost the match eventually on penalties. Spurs are rejuvenated, as you mentioned. So, unlike City, they're a little more predictable what they bring. The new guys like what's his name, Kudus, on
Mhm.
fire. Wanted him at Chelsea, but hey, he went to Spurs. Kudus is on fire. Richarlison did his thing in the first game. I think he's still going to start up front. The likes of Madison still injured. Dejan Kulusevski, I think he was injured also in the last game. So those guys are doubts, but those are like their powerhouses. Son is gone, so there are a lot of changes in there, but I think they can give City a good game.
Yeah.
Of course, if I'm to predict, I'll probably pick City because of history. But if Spurs win that game, I would not be surprised.
Forever season on the fence.
Whatever is on the fence, yeah.
Lovely. Let me take your thoughts, and then I'll add a few tidbits about what I think from both teams based on what I saw in game week 1.
Go ahead.
So, so I will tell you, the two games coming up this weekend, even
Hmm.
though it seems a little early to predict, would actually show a sign of who is ready to win the league, right?
This
Like I
this
mentioned, yes, like I mentioned in the last weekend, I said if Arsenal does not beat Man U, they should not think about the title
Hmm.
because you can only, as maybe the first, second two seasons, predict, oh, maybe we are building. Now we need the result, right? You can't keep building, we need results. So in the same light, right? Man City had its issues last season, and now knowing fully well that it seems like the team is getting back to its normalcy based on what we have seen from their last game against Wolves, right?
Hmm.
You might think, oh, Wolves is a depleted team. It's not a team that a lot of people would think would easily play Man City. I think the problem of Wolves is their coach. They
Mm.
were used to the old coach. He left, went to Nottingham Forest, and all of a sudden Nottingham Forest seems to be performing very well. That means the coach was good, and the new coach is still not good at Wolves. So even if the team might even try to win, they'll probably still lose because the coach doesn't understand them. Now, Tottenham has a new coach, a new
Yeah.
mentality, but it is still a developing team, right?
Right.
Compared to a team that has been together for a while. So, plus Man City plays at home, right?
Yes.
If Tottenham wants to convince us that they are going to be in the top six standing or top four, they have to either take a point or win the game.
Mm.
Winning the game, I would tell you, will be very tough because you're trying to play a team who wants to win the league this time around. It
Right.
seems like they've been away. They lost some players. They're losing some players, and they probably bought some players, even though those players are new. It is still, like I say, against the team that has been together compared to the team that is just being built together. So I would say it's all still falls in Man City's favor, going by what everyone played in the first week.
The first week. Okay. I think I agree with both of you. For the most part, right? You guys, brought up the fact that City are a bit more stable. They've brought in more players. You mentioned about Savinio Charles, right?
Yes.
So from what I've seen, it seems like City have actually offered Savinio a new contract. They
Okay.
want Savinio to stay, and it's looking unlikely that he'll be leaving. What we have noticed, though, what I saw during preseason and also in the first game, is that Oscar Bob seems to be the preferred starter on that right side.
Uh-huh.
And he's, I think, a bit more of a pep player. He came through the academy, of course, right? But he
Yeah.
tends to retain the ball better, which I think is something that Pep and his compatriots Ateta and Maresca also like, right? They like wingers who will take players on who know how to retain the ball in that final third. So that's what I've seen from City so far this season, and they are stable. Tijani Reinders is one that has caught the eye already this season and in preseason. He looks to me like he's exactly a replica of Gondwan. You guys might recall the way Gondwan, all those late runs into the box,
Yeah.
into the box. He pops up from nowhere with a goal. He did that, in their last preseason game, and he did that again, in the first game
In the
week.
first game.
So while I don't expect a blowout, because again, this is a Thomas Frank coach side, Thomas Frank doesn't concede goals very easily. It's not going to be the Angie Spurs all-out attack that we saw last season. This is going to be a more compact team that,
Yeah.
and from what we saw in the first game as well, they will, and as well against PSG, they will look to hit City on the counter attack. City are still susceptible in defense. One thing that they have going for them is that John Stones is fit. And I think when John Stones is fit, the defense is a bit more stable. So putting all that together, I would pick City for a win in this game, based on that, because I don't think Tottenham are quite there yet. Like you said, they've lost Son, they've lost Kane over the last couple of seasons. They now have Richarlison, Brennan Johnson, and Kudus going up front. It's going to be a very, really, a really good game though. For me, it's at 6:30 a.m. I will be up to watch that game, uh, no doubt. All right. Any final thoughts from you guys before we go on and we look at the Newcastle Liverpool game?
Yeah, I have one thing. You picked something I was gonna say about City being vulnerable on the counter, which is
Yeah.
something that Spurs probably take advantage of. But Ola mentioned something about Spurs are still gelling. I
Hmm.
actually think City needs more gelling than Spurs do, considering the number of signings City has done. So Brennan Johnson was in Spurs last season. So was Richarlison. So were the likes of Papsa. What's their
Yeah.
number? It's now Bisuma. These guys
Hmm.
were there, last season. Kudus is kind of the only new guy that would be a starter. So I don't think Spurs need, and of course they have a new coach, obviously. I don't think Spurs need as much gelling as City does, which I think that can play into Spurs' favor. Now, City is at home, so that also kind of plays in City's favor. And as you mentioned, Tijan Rangers has woken up, he's stepping up. The new guys like Shirky, Nunes, no, not Nunes. Sorry, the guy that's finally Ike Nuri. These guys have stepped up also and are delivering where they're supposed to. Because Ike Nuri was a shocker buy for me, but he seems to be doing
Mm.
what he was brought to do.
Yeah.
So there are pros for the new guys, but there are also cons of they're still gelling, whether you like it or not, they're still gelling. So I think this can work against City, but as you also mentioned, the defensive flaw, which they can be hit on the counter, even though John Stones is back. Um,
I think Allah wanted to say something.
Yeah, the point I was trying to make is this, and why I would keep saying, or what I kept saying that Tottenham still need a lot of gelling is this. You made a point. You said every other player except Kudos seems to be the new person in front,
yeah,
right? Then, if that's the case, why were they 17th last season? Why were they last season? So, to prove the point by saying they, even though it seems like that
I'll
the
tell you why they were
players have been
last season.
present,
Yeah, finish
right?
it.
You can be present, but not gelling.
Hmm.
If they gelled, their performance last season would have been shown. One new player would not change the circumstance of the team.
All right.
A new coach might mend the way they play, but does not change the circumstance of the team. That's the same reason why I even also predicted. I said Man U is not winning the game last weekend, and I was right. The coach coming in is not going to change the atmosphere. It takes the players to play together, gel. Oh, understand this is where this person will be when I'm here. You can't just send everybody. We have stars, but we don't have teams.
Mm.
They have stars players who have been playing, but they don't have a team. You have to understand the
Yeah.
difference.
Real
And
quick,
that's the
I,
reason why
so we don't spend too much time.
Spurs can buy players,
Mm-hmm.
but until they start playing with each other and understand their chemistry, like 5 and 6, then we see a result and we say, yes, they're gonna
yeah.
win. Yes.
And I think that's
So
key because, for example, right, you guys might recall when Pep first came, right? It took a
yeah,
while for City players to adapt to what Pep wants to do. And I think it's the same when you have a new coach. They might enjoy that new coach bounce, but I think for Thomas Frank's ideas to actually get across to the team, I think it will take some time. And I think
Mhm.
that's the gelling that they need to do because now they have to unlearn a lot of things that, they
With
because
two
the more
coaches.
you play, the more you do things for a coach, the more second nature it becomes, right?
Mhm.
When a pass goes this way, your body's already programmed to run in this direction. And with Angie, it was all out attack, all out attack. Now you're gonna have someone like Doggy who's like, okay, wait, I don't just go forward immediately. The ball is going forward, right? I have to kind of watch based on what Thomas Frank wants me to do. Charles.
Mhm.
I don't think gelling is the real word to use because gelling means these guys gotta get used to each other. I think
Yeah.
they're already used to each other. I think the issue is the coach. The coach from last season played all out attack, like you said, and these guys seem to struggle with that style. This new coach seems to play something that it's easier for them to adapt, which I don't think gelling is. I think now, if you talk about gelling, not all coaching styles need gelling. And Slot came in last season and won the league. The players didn't
Because
gel to his hold on. The players didn't need to gel to his style. These
they
players
did.
the point I'm trying to make is Liverpool players have played with each other for a number of seasons.
Okay.
A new coach came and they won the league. Spurs have played together. A new coach has come now. It's better how fast they've already gelled with each other. How fast can they adopt the new style of the new coach? That's what will get them
Hmm.
result. And from the first game I saw and the
Yeah.
preseason games I saw, I think they are fine with the new style. I think the people who really need to gel are the 5 or 6 players City bought that are still
Yeah.
new to the team. That's what I think.
So
And
I think in conclusion though, uh,
on that same point,
Oh,
if
yeah.
we
on that point, sorry, I'm predicting a draw. By the way, I forgot to mention that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Interesting. Ola, what's your prediction for the game?
you mean Man City against Tottenham,
Yes.
City most likely will win, and all that will be in the first half. If they are not able to win them in the first half, I foresee a draw.
Okay.
that's a safe prediction.
Yeah, no, it's not really the same prediction. Like it's if you are able to hold the team in the first half,
Yeah, so he's saying
they
if Tottenham can
struggle.
withstand the City pressure in the first half.
Yeah,
I'm
Man,
I,
predicting.
I
Man, Man City will struggle the second half
Okay, but what's your
because
final prediction? Who wins, or is there a draw?
there's a higher chance that Man City wins because
Is that
one,
what
they're
you think
playing
they
at home.
wins?
Yes,
Okay,
there's a higher chance they win. If they
I'm going
don't
for a
win
City
it, if
win
they
as
are not,
well.
if they are not winning it in the first half, then it's a
leave
draw.
all this if Man City wins.
That sounds like such a child's thing.
I know
If
it's
this
trying to be
scenario, if
if
Yeah, because
if
Charles
we hold
mentioned a
them
point.
and something goes
The
on.
team, the team,
all
the
right, guys.
team, both teams are jelly, right?
Yeah,
And to that same point, if I would digress to Liverpool, Newcastle,
the
right?
ones that already
The
gelled.
the reason why we
We
brought
have
Bubsy here.
we have a slightly different team in Liverpool last season than this season, even though a majority of the players still exist.
Mm.
Mm.
We have a different new play temp or players. The new set of players that are being brought in needs to gel.
I agree.
They
Lots
need to
of jelly
gel
today.
compared to they need to learn their style of play compared to what we had last season. Remember, we still bought new players last season. No, we didn't actually buy new
You
players.
didn't. You only
We
brought in
didn't buy
Endo.
new players. We bought
But
players a
You
QC
season
brought in a new
before.
coach last season.
We
and
got in
QC.
a new coach last season. Let me tell you when the coach realized that he could not play his full style of play after he lost the second game. He changed the style he would have been used to and
Who did he
say, let
lose to?
me, Nottingham Forest. He lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest. And he changed his style of play. He said, okay, wait, we can't just stay back, absorb pressure, but let's try and mix this up with what Klopp was doing. And let's see how this works. And boom, from the third game, that felt like the magic he needed.
So basically, he did what Amorim should be doing for Manchester United.
Exactly. You do not just come into a team and say, "Oh, your coach did this. Oh, let's scatter the open. Let's start it up." No, it takes a while for a team to play the club style, then all of a sudden play the Mourinho style. An attacking team cannot just wake up one morning and say, "Oh, let's just defend." If you are going to defend, you really must be good, and you always make sure that you score and not concede because it's like they always say it is safer to score than to defend
Hmm.
because if you score, you know that you have less defending to do.
So let's
If
look
you
at
defend,
Newcastle Liverpool. Right, you guys
Yeah,
are going away to Newcastle. You've talked
yes,
about the fact that you guys have brought in a lot of new players, right?
mhm,
Kirkers, Overts, Ekitike are all starters, and on three new players,
Frimpong,
Frimpong as well. So
mhm,
you have four new players in your starting lineup essentially.
okay.
I think Gravenberg was a bit of a miss for you in the first game due to his suspension. He's back now. How do you feel going into this game against Newcastle?
It will be a little different. Newcastle didn't win their first game,
It was a very
right?
boring game actually. They looked
Yeah,
asleep.
they drew against New against
Aston Villa.
Aston Villa.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even though it seems like they played, but still didn't seem like they played. And they've said it. Without Isak in the game, they are not winning anything. They're really not winning anything without Isak in the game. One. But in being optimistic on the fact that Newcastle is as weak as they are right now, is to being pessimist on what Liverpool's chances could be. From the first game Liverpool played against um, Bournemouth, right? You
Mm,
could tell that there's still some level of learning that Frimpong has to learn from the way Salah plays.
mm,
The two has to learn, okay, if I'm this way, pass this way. Salah is used to Trent making the ball move for him. Frimpong has to learn that, okay, this is how I do. Let me learn the same style and okay, oh, this is his position and this is where he plays. This is when he's making a run. What should I play the ball? Or if he's making a run this way, should I cross the ball to the other side so that Kekes and somebody else plays the ball, push it forward? Let me learn the way they play. I've seen something which is really good that Eketike, while playing in the middle, likes playing on the left side. And playing on the left side, you can see it seems like he plays well with Gakpo because it seems like they learn each other very quickly within the game. And also, what's his name? The midfielder we got.
Words.
Also, word, I've forgotten how to pronounce his name. He plays well, but he still needs some improvement. I think based on the two games I've seen them play, those players would play 60% of the time while a substitute will come in until the point where they've matured enough to know, okay, now I can do a 60 and I can do a 90 minutes. Or if, like the coach would always say, we need to rotate the players so that they don't get tired and exhausted. I remember last season, Ryan Grappenberg was playing majority of the time onto the point that he just was getting tired. You could tell that it seems like he needs an assistant somewhere, you know. And even though he was good, there's only so much a battery can work without being recharged. So therefore, when we play Newcastle on Monday, though the game might be tough, Liverpool will win the game.
okay.
As long as Isak is not playing, we're winning this. Even if Isak is playing, we are winning this because we want to show them who the boss is.
I have something to say about Ekitike. Ekitike is, and this is might come off as a surprise or high comparison, but he's the closest thing I've seen to Henry in the Premiership since Henry left the Premiership. The
Exactly.
styles are
Exactly.
very similar. He has the same running ability on the ball, the same tendency to pull off to the left,
Exactly.
same way he
That's
drops deep and picks up the ball from deep and carries the
oh
ball. It
nice.
reminds me a
Great,
lot of
great
Henry.
qualities. Great quality. He's got a great quality. He is the only player, maybe since Suarez, that I've seen play for. Suarez actually didn't play in the middle. He played on the wings, right? He's
No,
the
he played
first.
in the middle.
Play in the middle.
He didn't really play so much in the middle, but that it
Actually,
seems
you're
like
you're right. He played on the wings because it
he
was
played on the
storage in the
wing.
middle. It was
Sorry.
storage,
Exactly.
Well,
Suarez
they
on
kind of played two up
the
front. They kind
Yeah,
of played
but it
yeah.
was
when
he didn't
Storage
play.
played.
Was a
But
4-4-2,
Suarez
not
It
a
was
4-5-1.
yeah. But Sterling
Torres
tended to
was
join in into
4-5-1.
that attack. It was
Exactly.
Sterling, Suarez, and Sturridge.
4-3-3, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
But Eketike plays so well in it. And I'm happy that he can dribble.
Mm.
Because some strikers are always just there. Oh, let's just use my head. Let me just use my head. Let me get my chances. And
Even with
he
his
takes
height.
the ball. He takes the ball with his height, run and makes run back to his defense, goes forward, plays everything. We just need Isak to make that team more complete. Not like it's not
God
complete,
forbid.
but
God
more
forbid.
complete.
God forbid.
Because once we
God
have
forbid.
Isak,
Let me join you. Let me
God,
join you.
God
let's just
forbid. God
forget
forbid.
about it. The
God
good
forbid.
thing is this. The good thing is this. If we don't get him now, it will just be a loss to Newcastle because next year Right now, we are offering 130. Next year, maybe they should be willing to accept 30 million pounds because
No, don't worry. I've given you the
100,000
solution.
pounds.
Arsenal will take him on loan.
Arsenal
That
will take him
that's
on
the
loan.
solution. Yeah, he can come play for
Oh,
us for the season. You guys buy him next summer. Pay 50, 60 million next summer.
all
He'll
right.
have a good season with
Let me
us.
laugh in Chinese. Ho ha he ho ha ha. It's not possible. It's not possible.
So Charles, give me your take. Does Newcastle have a chance in this game? They're playing with Gordon up front now. So Gordon started most of the games on the left
Hmm.
last summer. With
Mhm.
Isak out of the team, they've now brought in Harvey Barnes on the left, who used to be the sub for Gordon, and
But,
Gordon was the main striker. Do you think Newcastle have a chance in this game?
short answer, yes, they do have a chance because it's still a game of 11 versus 11.
I trust you. I expected nothing less.
And I mean, fact. They do have a chance. It's still a game of 11 versus 11. This game is very personal for both Liverpool and Newcastle because of the Isak issue going on right now. So, yeah, they do have a chance. There's also that shakiness that we seem to see in Liverpool's defense. We are not sure of the Van Dijk Konate combination. There are rumors that they want to get Gay to come in and compete. So that lingering doubt in defense is an issue. Now, maybe Liverpool fan may not accept it does exist, but a lot of
Yeah.
us, we saw it in preseason. It's there. We saw it against Bournemouth also. It's there. So yes, they do have a chance because of that, and because it's a personal game for Newcastle. These guys want to prove that with or without Isak, we can still face you. Now, I actually think Isak coming in at this time with these things happening. I mean, we know it's not going to play, but let's assume he play. I think it's going to actually play bad for Newcastle. I think they should
I
keep
don't see
up
him
with what.
playing.
Say that again.
I say he's definitely not playing in the game.
Definitely not playing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
keep doing what they were learning to do with the Gordon. What's the name? Avi Barnes on
Harvey
left,
Barnes.
Gordon up front. Which I don't know why they're playing Gordon up front. I think they should play the other guy.
Who, Osula?
Huh?
Osula?
Osula. Play Osula up front because the way
Really?
Gordon plays, Gordon, Jacob Murphy on the right, or even Gordon on the right, Barnes on the
Mm-hmm.
left. Osula can just be a focal point. It doesn't need to do much. Gordon and
Mm.
the wingers can be the power points. Also, because something Ola mentioned, Liverpool has Frimpong and Kirkers. They're solid players, but they are still gelling, as Ola said. They're still gelling. So they can take advantage of that by strengthening the wings. I don't think Gordon you don't get the best of Gordon up front. You don't. He doesn't have the height, and his speed is wasted because he needs space to utilize the speed. So I'll play Gordon on the left, Barnes on the right, or the other way around. Barnes on the right, Gordon on the left. Play Osula up front. I can even play what's his name? The guy who came in as a striker but is now a midfielder. The Brazilian. Joelinton.
Ellington?
Play Joelinton up front. The point I'm trying to make is this. The position Isak plays is weakened because Isak is not playing. But I think it's also weakened because the person who they put in there is not a classic striker. They need a classic striker as a focal point to move defenders around just by moving, to attract the likes of Van Dijk, someone physical, to attract the likes of Van Dijk and let the wingers do their job. So on that note, yes, Newcastle do have a chance, but are they going to win it? I don't think they will. I think Liverpool, especially based on the game week one's performances, Liverpool already know a little more what they are planning to do than Newcastle do. I think Liverpool will concede, but I think they're going to win the game. Now, Ola mentioned the issue of the gelling, which he keeps bringing up with Liverpool. I don't think Liverpool the players are really gelling as much. I think it's a plug and play thing like Man City. There's a style. Just put players in there. And I don't think Frimpong, now I agree with Ola, Frimpong is still learning the role. Kirkers it looked a little more solid in my opinion, but I think because they're still new to it, they're still learning, but I think they are solid players for those roles. So overall, yeah, Newcastle has a chance, but I think this is definitely Liverpool's game to win. Now, praises for Ekitike, very, very important. I've only seen him play one game, so I don't want to praise him too much. But there's something there. I see why you guys bought him. And I'm beginning to
You've seen him
wonder.
play 2 games, actually.
I'm sorry?
You've seen him play twice.
I've only seen him play once.
Against Crystal Palace, he's talking about
Nah, I
in the
didn't watch that
Community
game.
Shield. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Oh,
that game. Yeah.
okay.
So I've only seen him play once. So I praise for Ekitike, no doubt, but I don't want to say why they try to get Isak. You understand? Because two heads are better than one, right?
Anybody will get a sack.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I'm wondering if Isak will go on the left or if Ekitike will go on the left. It will be interesting to see if they even get Isak at all. But Ekitike is a solid buy. As of right now, I don't think there's a backup for him. And I think as time goes on, if they don't get Isak, they will need to get somebody else like Nicholas Jackson. Just throwing it out. I'm advertising no, jokes aside. At
Stop.
some point, the rigors of the APL will probably get to KTK, regardless of how good he's looking right now. So they
Yeah.
will need someone to assist. Now, Gakpo can also fill in the position, but as far as I'm concerned, right now they've lost Jota, Nunes,
Diaz.
Diaz, and they've only bought KTK. So they still need two players. Even if they get Isak, they still need one more. So
At least one more. Yeah.
at least one more. Yeah. So I think Liverpool, they are not there yet when it comes to attack up front. And Salah, yeah, they have Salah, but he's just one man. So
Okay. So
in some words I'm trying to say, I think Liverpool are not fully set for the season, even though I think they're gonna deal with Newcastle. But if they don't buy Isak and they don't buy anybody else, I think they may have issues up front. Now they have Chiesa also, which we're not sure what's going on with him. But that team is solid. Honestly, Florian Wirtz and the midfield with the likes of McAllister, Gravenberch. You guys are solid in the midfield. I think the midfield is the focal point, the strength of a team. If the midfield is good, any team can perform if they can fix the other lapses or if they can
okay. And
play.
I think you said Newcastle will score, but a Liverpool win. Loves, are you
Yeah,
leaning the same way?
that's what I'm expecting.
Most likely, yeah.
Liverpool win. Okay. I'm gonna go with the Newcastle Liverpool draw.
Why?
Why? Because I think Newcastle will be a bit more solid than Bournemouth were in that game. I think there's a weakness that teams will have noticed in that first game, which is Kirkers. You guys will notice they kept going over the top to Semenyo, and they identified Kirkers as a weakness aerially.
Right.
I think Elanga playing out there will also attempt to take advantage of Kirkers. And
Elanga
Newcastle,
is now in Newcastle. I forgot that guy.
yes, and they will look to hit Liverpool on the
Elanga did
break.
not play anything if you watched his last game against Aston Villa.
So
Aston
I think
Villa
you guys might
had a
recall I
10-man
criticized him in the
team.
chat. I
I
criticized him in the chat.
10-man team could not be
However,
won.
however,
If they couldn't
where
win a 10-man,
Liverpool's
hold
Achilles
on.
heel will be is in the same area and the same way that Aston Villa got a red card. It was Elanga who played the through ball into Anthony Gordon, running through him behind, and he got fouled for a red. I think we're going to see a lot of that happening in over and over and over again against Liverpool because, as we know, your two fullbacks will pull forward,
Yep.
and they're going to be left against Van Dijk and Konate. I think that's going to keep happening, and we're going to see Newcastle hitting you guys on the break often, and it will be effective at some point.
A draw will be interesting.
Yeah. All right. That said, I'm going to take one quick question and then we'll go to predictions. Lobsy, do you think Isak comes to Liverpool in this transfer window?
Yes
Give
or
me
no?
your thoughts in 30 seconds. 30 seconds or less.
there's a chance, there's a probability that he's not coming because of what the statement Newcastle made.
But give me your gut feel. Just we know what
My
has been
gut
said.
feel is that
Isak
the
has said,
team, Isak wants to come, but the team won't sell.
okay, so you don't think he's coming.
It's like, yeah, they want him to play in the Champions League for them.
Okay. Charles, Isak to Liverpool or no?
I say no. I think it's a Newcastle loss. Because
Interesting.
130 million British record for a player that doesn't want to play for you anymore, sell the player, buy two players, and still have change.
Who do they buy though?
You know me. Nicholas Jackson, man.
Oh God,
See,
not this again.
Just aside, I'm trying to be serious right now. I can't think of anybody else that can give them something similar. Now, Nicolas Jackson is not the best goal scorer, I understand. But give them the pressure Nicolas Jackson brings to a game against defenders is wonderful. You understand?
You do,
Now,
yeah, you do have a good point.
no, let me finish.
Yeah.
You are bringing him not necessarily to replace it. That's why I said buy 2 players. I didn't say just buy one to replace Isak. If you're buying Jackson, buy somebody else who can score goals. Jackson may not score you goals, but Jackson gives you the example I gave earlier about Osula up front with the wingers functioning better as goal scorers. Jackson will help you deliver that style of play. Now, if you also want someone to replace Isak, I don't know who else available, but buy someone else. But with 130 million in the bank, you can buy 2 players and still have 20, 30 mil left. So the point is, they're not going to, like Ola said, they're not going to sell Isak for 130 next year. For one reason or the other, either his fund drops, either they don't make top 4, either they drop out early in Champions League. There's going to be something that's going to happen that they're not going to get 130 million for Isak next season. So sell him now, buy a replacement. It's just that simple. Like some things are just not rocket science.
I'm actually going to disagree with you both. I think Isak ends up at Liverpool. I think this summer. I think they're holding off for this Newcastle Liverpool game, and I think there will be a twist next week, and they will sell Isak after that game.
Holding off for him to play against Liverpool?
For him to not play against to not play for Liverpool against them.
Oh, I see.
I think once that game is out of the way, then they will come back to the table. That's my thought.
I mean, there is a rumor Liverpool is preparing a bid for next week, so.
And I think that I think that's what it is. I think there's been a conversation behind the scenes. I think Newcastle were maybe just caught off guard by Isak's statement saying they didn't honor his wishes and the gentleman's agreement that they had. But I think that is all just. I think that caught them unawares, and I think they will eventually come back to the table and negotiate next week. All right, let's take predictions.
I do, honestly. Not selling is a big loss for them. It would be.
Lobja, I'll have you take this so we don't have partiality. West Ham Chelsea predictions.
West Ham Chelsea.
West Ham Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I was about to say whatever you say will come.
1-0. 1-0.
1-0. Okay.
I'll take it. 3 points.
No rebuttal from me. Charles, Bournemouth Wolves.
All these difficult mid-table teams. I'll give it to Bournemouth.
Actually,
I'm judging based off game week 1. I saw what Bournemouth did against Liverpool. I saw what Wolves did against City, and so I'll give it to Bournemouth.
Yeah, I actually think Wolves might get relegated if they're not careful this season.
Yeah,
they look to me like the weakest.
I'm still waiting for the third one, but Wolves and Burnley are my picks for relegation.
Yeah,
they've escaped it like 2 seasons. They've been coming close and still escaping.
Yeah,
this isn't.
They've been flirting and romancing relegation.
Like Man U and
Mbeumo. All right, Brentford Villa. I'll take this one. This is another tough one.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go with Villa just because I don't think Brentford will have found their feet yet. Villa have done well to retain Watkins, and I think Brentford are still struggling at the moment. So I'm gonna go with the Villa win.
Teacher.
Hola. Yes, sir.
Okay, let me put my hand up.
Sunderland, Burnley, Sunderland.
You already know what I was about to ask for. Hola, go ahead.
Oh, Sunderland, Burnley. I said Sunderland.
Sunderland.
Yes.
Okay. This is an interesting one because I don't recall us ever having the two teams that came up from the championship face off so quickly early in the season.
Yeah.
So interesting. Do you guys know who won when they played in the championship last season?
Between they faced each other?
Yeah, Burnley, Sunderland.
Nah. Oh, yeah, in champion. I don't remember. I don't recall. I don't know. I mean, I agree with Ola on this one. It could be Sunderland because I saw what Burnley did. I picked them for relegation, so I wouldn't be saying they would win any game anytime soon.
Okay, I'll look up those while we go ahead. All right. Yes, you get it. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal leads.
Arsenal leads.
Arsenal wins. Is that what you said?
Arsenal leads.
Yeah, Arsenal has what it takes to win, but I think Leeds can pull up an upset in this and get a draw.
Okay, so you're going for a draw in this one?
I'm going for a draw. Yeah.
Okay. No comments.
Not
needed. No rebuttal from me. So, Crystal Palace against Nottingham Forest. Oof. I'm gonna go with a draw in this game. Yeah, that's gonna be a tough game. Rumor has it to actually. Yeah, now that you mentioned, Rumor has it today that Arsenal have moved in very quickly to sign Eze after Kai Havertz's injury.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, it was looking like we were going to have Havertz as a solid backup to Gyökeres, but with that injury, the diagnosis is not out yet, right? But it sounds like something that's going to keep him out for a while, and it
So
looks
who's
like
the new York
Palace.
backup now?
It's going to be Mikel Merino. Jesus is
Oh,
also
did you
back.
say Kai Havertz?
He's injured, yeah.
Kai is
Oh,
injured.
I'm just selling. I'm selling it straight up. It's just,
Knee injury. Knee injury. Diagnosis
I'm
not
not buying.
confirmed yet. We don't know
He's
if it's an
gone.
ACL
Yeah,
or
you let him be gone from my team. I don't need him anymore. It's
your
just
fantasy league.
yeah, let him be sold. I made a mistake of even having him the first day
So
of the season.
because of that, I'm actually going to lean towards a Forest win in this game. I think they will not have Eze
Because they say
available
won't
by
play.
Sunday because
Right.
Eze will not be available. All right. Over to you, Ola. Everton, Brighton.
Brighton wins this.
Okay.
Jack
You want to
Grealish.
put
Have you seen this, boys? I'm just joking.
do you want to put
Yeah,
a scoreline
Brighton
to
is
it?
winning this. What?
Do you want to put a scoreline to it? Is it gonna be bad?
2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Not bad.
Charles, Fulham, Manchester United.
Manchester United. you know, I'll try to make it short. When people were talking about, I don't know if it was Amorim that made the statement, we lost by one, we could have won. I don't know what he said. Now I know we
He
can
said,
beat
"Now I know we can beat any team
anything.
because we played Arsenal, a great team, and we dominated." Those were his comments.
Well, so I see where he's coming from. You understand? Now I'm a big fan of results. You lost games, so you shouldn't even be talking. But I see what he's trying to say. Because let's face facts, the Man U of last season would have probably chopped like 3, 4, 5-0 against a well-performing Arsenal.
Mm.
I beg
1
to
0.
differ actually because we've struggled since Amorim came into the league against Man U. We've won,
Yeah,
but
but
they've
it's not
always
been
been tough.
enough to even say you struggled. You understand?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah. And you won by 1 goal, and the goal was not saying it wasn't clear, but we know it was a corner. They say keeper made an error. There was a lot going on. You understand? So I see where Amorim is coming from. I watched 2 Man U preseason games, or was it 1? 2, I think 2. Yeah.
Mm.
The players seem to understand what Amorim has been asking for. They've got the personnel for it. We're yet to see. But Umbomo, Konya, I can't brag for Sesko because I barely watched Sesko play.
Yeah.
But I watched the game against you guys, and I saw Umbomo Sesko. They're fire.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see Man U doing good. Now, defensive wise, they're not so bad in defense. Actually, they have a lot of personnel for defense. The Maguires, the Martinez, Hayden Evan,
Elite,
Delete,
Euro,
Euro. They have people. Onana, yeah.
Shaw,
Huh?
Luke Shaw.
No. I'm not gonna mention Luke Shaw. But
I
my point
mean, that
is,
was their starting lineup last game. It
I
was
know,
Luke
I know it was
Shaw, Delete, and Euro.
Euro. Yeah, but the thing is, they have people to play. My
Mhm.
point has always been, Man U needs to get a defensive midfielder to solidify the midfield. The likes of Baleba that they're trying to get, but they probably won't get. Overall, I think Man U is actually looking decent
Yeah.
with the front three they got. So I'll call it a Man U win against Fulham.
Okay. I actually would agree with that. All right, and that brings us to the end of predictions for game week 2. Any final thoughts, guys? Really good session today again, as always.
Manchester United are back.
Let's send that
I
to
will still
Rio
tell you,
Ferdinand.
my you know is not still not bad.
They'll
They're
do better than
trying.
last
And
season, though. They'll do better than
yeah,
last season.
they will perform better than last week, but Fulham will be a tough game for them.
Yeah, very, very. In fact, I
Yeah.
would say this. I expect mine to do significantly better than last season. Last
Well,
season
they
was
finished 15th, so with a negative
15.
goal difference, it's
Okay.
kind of hard to top that.
Well, what's the expectation?
No,
Yeah, the
just make
expectation
it
is enough.
15. That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
expect
anyway, They are looking good. I think, yeah, they're looking good. I think they'll be in the top seven this season, but we'll see.
I think so too. I hope Sesko starts. I want to see who got the better deal, Man U or Arsenal, with the Sesko Yokeres swap.
Honestly, long term, Man, you got the better
Oh
deal.
yeah, because of the age, yeah.
Not just because of age. I think they will score a similar amount of goals this season. Sesko is that good, but we'll see that soon.
Huh.
Yep. All right. And on that note, thank you guys. If you stayed with us till this point and you still haven't clicked that like, subscribe button, do it now. Do it now. All right. Thanks,
Subscribe,
guys.
subscribe. Thank you.